Okay, we will be looking at Technique 40, which is designing the placement of words and pictures. When looking at the design of the page, we will be talking about text placement, which is one of the simplest for the students to understand, but also is one of the most important, simply because it impacts every page of the book that the students will be making. For your students, remind them that there's no need to be locked into this traditional way of having the text at the bottom of the page and the pictures at the top. The words must be placed so that there is no competition with the background detail whenever the pictures are drawn. So if you have a picture that has a nice scenery in the background, you don't want your words to be placed within that scenery or it will conflict the page too much. Most of the time, the words that are put on the page will be put into the lightest part of the page, or if it is on a dark part, they will be accented, or generally they will be white letters. Design is often for the students what pleases the eye, but sometimes it needs to be more thought out if you have a more detailed image on the page. So the book that I will be using is The Pigeon Wants a Puppy, and both the words and the pictures are by Mo Willems. So as we look at this book, we see that on the first page, the pigeon is here and it has the nice word bubble that says, "Oh, hello," right there. This is pretty simple for the students. It is a younger level book, but as you can tell that it is black letters on a nice white word bubble, and you can tell exactly how it's supposed to be with the pigeon saying "oh hello." As we move through the book, it is pretty simple pictures. There's not a lot going on in the background, so you don't have to worry too much about that. But as you can tell on most of the pages, it's been really big bubbles with big words, and that's generally showing emotion from the pigeon. But then when you come to pages like this, you can see it's gotten smaller and it's showing a different kind of emotion or a question or a feeling. As we were talking about before, words can be accented, such as on this page, when the pigeon says "a puppy," they're accented with a red outline, which is also showing the emotion of the pigeon. And then when we move to this page, you can see that not only are there 3 different word bubbles, but the words are not all in a straight line at the top or the bottom of the page, but they're spread out, showing that the pigeon is moving around and it's making the page pop a little bit more with a great design with the picture. As we move through the book, there is another page in here that shows more of a design element right here, and you can just see that the 3 dots leading into the next page, and then the hearts around this bubble, showing that the pigeon has a strong love for puppies and really wants to have a puppy, and that it's important. And so that's just a design detail that your students are going to have to be able to think about before they just put it down on the page. Another thing that we had talked about and that we hit on a little bit earlier is the fact that sometimes it's not on a very light part of the page, where the purple page here is a little darker. They had to use a brighter pink behind the black that helps the words pop out so that they're easy to read and they're more well accented. And that's pretty much what we have for the designing and the placement of the words and the pictures.